and stuff. Hey everybody, it's Kate Richburg. Welcome to Free Tip Friday, Summer Solstice Edition. Happy summer, everybody. And happy Juneteenth yesterday. You know, we didn't have any mail. It's a national holiday. So there was no mail service yesterday. So yes, Juneteenth, solstice, all good things. Summer has officially started. So it's great to have everybody here. Let's see. Gosh, there's so many comments. So many of you are here to watch me do some wire wrapping. I thought it would be a fun thing to kind of do a little bit of laid back, a little bit of skill refresh, because we're getting ready for Emily's project, for Christmas in July, which I'll talk about in a few. I'll talk about it at the end. So let's see. Gosh, everyone who's anyone is here today. Great to see you all. Janice is busy behind the scenes getting things ready, because I am getting things ready, because what's today, Friday? I leave, my flight's like Sunday at noon. So I'm packed. I'm just about ready. Got a few things I need to wrap up. So we're wrapping things up today, which is good. And then next week, stay tuned to your newsletters, my friends, because we have a bunch of stuff happening. Launches. I've got a special mix as my tribute to France. We've got our monthly mix coming up. So yeah, lots of stuff happening. So stay tuned to your newsletters, my friends. I think I talked about it earlier, I think on Wednesday. We're looking to put a newsletter archive up on the website. I've got our web guy working on that. So I don't think it's going to be done before I leave, but hopefully it's a goal for sometime in July. Okay, so stay tuned. I'll announce it and let you folks know. Thank you for all of the new haircut love. Thanks. I'm bringing back the bob, even though it's a little grayer than it was in the old days, but it's time. It's time for that signature Kate Richburg bob to come back. So it's coming back. It's back. Plus I feel it's very French. So that's a good thing. I just cracked Miranda up. So next week, so I'll be out. I'll be gone for 10 days in the wilds of France, but I'll be checking in. Watch my Insta. If you find my Insta, it is under Kate Richburg on Instagram. I think it's at Bead Kate. Let me put that up real quick. At Miranda's all. Yes, it is. Bead Kate. Yeah, there we go. And you can follow that for my adventures on Insta. I hope to. It just depends on how the internet is over there as well. I'm going to try and do a broadcast for you folks, just to have you jump in and take a look at what we're creating. We're going to be sewing, which is going to be really super fun. I've got the dates for next year. Let me look. I'm going to, let's see. So bear with me here just a second. If I can spell. There we go. I'm going to finish up my, pardon me, my trifecta of France teaching at La Cascade. With next year, we're going to be doing metalsmithing. We are. I'm doing a very special metalsmith project, and I will tell you what 2026 looks like. It is going to be. I'm going to show you. It's a great lineup next year. But my dates are, hold please, I'm going to put it in. There we go. That is next year's. And you can go to, and I'll put it up. There it is. It's June 11th through June 18th, 2026 with jewelry metalsmith artist. That's me, Kate Richburg. So last year we did a big beaded necklace. We beaded. This year we're sewing. Next year, torch. So if you've never done any metalsmith work, and I haven't taught a metalsmithing class in person for years, so I'm super excited to do one in France in June. It's going to be so much fun. So that's what's going on there. And you can go over to, let me see, I think I've got it over here, maybe. Yeah, there it is. Let me edit this. Let me just grab the URL. Here it is. It's right here. Let me put that in. There we go. It's right here. soulstirmagic.com /stir soul stirring retreats. So that is there. So that's for next year, for 2026. If you like what you see, what we're doing over there, it's going to be a good time. It's always so fun. We've got a really great itinerary all planned up for you folks. But let's get to what I've got on my bead board today. And at the end of the show, we'll talk a little bit about Emily's project, about the seed beaded tree, our Christmas in July, because that stuff is launching. I think it's going to launch on Sunday is when it's launching. So, all right. So let me get this banner off of here. Let me see. There it is. Let me go back to this. So let me add this camera. There we are. Okay. So I thought today we would have some fun and just do something simple and soothing and a good practice, which is wire wrapping. If you looked at your newsletter this morning, you saw there was a sale event of something that I never ever do, but I want to clear out these shelves because I've got new things coming, so I have to move them along. So there are some things in Bead Shop Studio that we've still got going on, right? And so all Bead Shop Studio is marked down 20% through the weekend. So if you're watching this live, it is Friday, June 20th. It's on sale until the 22nd. And no coupon needed. Coupon codes won't apply, still the usual. But I went in and I marked down the whole category. So if you love this vintage glass that we've had in there, now is the time to grab it because it's all on sale. Everything that's in Bead Shop Studio, that has been in Bead Shop Studio, that we still have left, is on sale. So go over there and shop. You're already shopping it, which is awesome. But again, no coupon code needed. Just jump on in and check it out. We also have in our just in or in our back in category, I also marked those down. I think those are marked down 10% right now. Those you can combine with a coupon. So shop both of those, and it's on the homepage. You'll see both of those sales listed on there. Okay, so back in that sale ends tonight, Friday, June 30th. Sorry, June 20th. What's the date? Who am I? Who are you? Friday, June 20th at 11:59 p.m. And then our Bead Shop Studio sale ends on Sunday. Okay. So I grabbed these from the and sorry, I know my manicure. I'm going after right after this. So sorry about that. Looks terrible, but you'll just have to deal. I grabbed this strand of vintage glass in this really beautiful, like brown, chocolate brown caramel. It's very caramel sauce, hot fudge sundae kind of a feel to it, right? These are a beautiful size. These are, let me re-zero this. These are about 13 millimeter. So coming up on the Great Bead Extravaganza, remember I showed you folks, we're going to be working on a project that is similar to this with this big stone knotting, right? If you want to add some glass into these, I've got a whole bunch of semi-precious rounds coming. I think they actually arrive tomorrow. So this will be up for Great Bead Extravaganza. But adding in some other kind of interesting accent beads is a great way to go. So if you see some of this vintage glass that you like, grab it today. Or grab it through the weekend because it's going to be a nice addition to that. So that's coming up for TGBE. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. I've got some new clasps and things like this. So it's going to be fun. But if knotting's not your thing, we're going to do something with wire with this one today. And I thought it would be fun to do just a little bit of wire wrapping here. And I want to show you how I kind of batch all of my tasks for this, right? So let's go ahead and let's say I'm just going to wire wrap to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 right here. Okay. Then maybe I'll put a link in between them. This is that Feel Good chain. I like how this, and you could do any chain link for it. You can also, you could use anything, right? Any type of already pre-made link like this. That quadrifoil is really pretty. Pardon me. But I'm going to get everything all set up here and ready to go. Okay, so I've got these things right here. Okay, that's that. Now, I also have, I've got this quadrifoil right there, so I'm going to put that there. I've got this large jumbo swivel, which is going to go there. I grabbed this pearl out of my stash, right? Maybe we'll make some little, just kind of a fun little cluster for this piece. Let me get 2 links here. We'll go here and here, right? When I'm wire wrapping, I like to kind of set all of this up. Let me see. Pardon me. Sorry. I've got one of these. Remember when we did these large briolets? We still have some, and there are some semi-precious still in the Bead Shop Studio. So if you loved some of those big brios that we had, they're all on sale. I got to clear them out, everybody. So do me a solid and buy all this stuff because I've got new stuff coming in. Let me see. Let me also use, these were some smoky quartz that I had. So let me kind of do that there. Okay. So that's kind of what I've got started. And then I would continue to do my wire wrapping around. Let's first start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wire wrapping these 5 beads and linking these together. Okay. So This is also a really great project, like just kind of fast, sitting in front of the TV, doesn't take a lot of thought behind it. Okay, so let's start with, I'm going to use 22 gauge. Let me make sure that this is the right size. But the hole sizes on these are fairly big. I don't want anything super chunky, but 24 seemed to be a little small for me. So I'm using 22. That seems right. Let me zoom in just a little bit right here so you can see this a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start by just going off. Sorry, hang on. I'm getting a mint and it's not biting. Hang on. There we go. I just need a little piece of mint for my voice. Okay. Here's my wire. I'm going to straighten it out. I'm going to work right off the spool. Okay. So here we are. Nice and straight. Going to straighten this out. Now, I'm going to put my bead on. And I'm going to wire wrap this end. Okay. So I'm going to bend at a right angle. Now we've got a great skill builder on wire wrapping. Okay. But I thought, you know what? We can never go wrong by just a little refresher. I'm also going to mark the head of my tool so that I'm going over on my tool at the very same point every single time. Okay, so let me do that. Okay. I've got my Sharpie marker. Oh, that looks like a whole bunch of semi-precious beads, Chris.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
4 big boxes, bro.
4 big boxes for the Great Bead Extravaganza, everybody. Plus, there's some tiny pearls in there, too. I'm super excited. So see here, I'm marking with my Sharpie, just so I've got something to aim around to. Okay? So, bending at a right angle, lining up that wire with the mark, up and over the top. Take this plier out from the top mark, put it on the bottom mark, and close underneath. So you've got this nice right angle. Now, what do I have to do here to make sure that this connects? Right? I need to make sure to attach a link to this end. Right? So take a look at this quadrifoil. See how it's kind of thick-ish? I need to open this up. I need to make this loop, this one loop, a little bit bigger. Okay. Like that. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to lift, I'm going to open this loop. See, can you see down there? So it opens. I'm going to slide this closed. So there we go. So see how I've got room. If I had made that loop the original size, it just wouldn't move around. Sharon, I'm so glad that you love Refresher Lives, because I was thinking about it yesterday and I'm like, I need something that's easy breezy, that feels like fast, that I don't really super have to think about, but still has a lot of value. So that's how I came to this one. right? So thank you. I so appreciate that comment. So appreciate. So now I'm going to come in. I'm going to use my bent chain nose to kind of get in there like that, right? And I'm going to come in and I'm going to wire wrap. And I'm just going to use my hands for this. I could use another plier, but this 22 gauge Parawire is so malleable, so easy to work. So see that? Can you see how I'm holding the loop underneath here? I just went 180 degrees at a time. I'm going to open this up, open my plier up, straighten out that loop. And just as a reminder, we did the wire masterclass a while back, right? The wire masterclass, I was going through and I was kind of looking at all the masterclasses to kind of see, get some ideas for our next one. That wire masterclass was pretty good, if you ask me. I need to make a masterclass page for it, but you can find it under masterclasses. It's there. I just need to kind of update the pages so they're a little bit easier to navigate. But it's all there. They're also on our masterclass playlist right here on YouTube. But if you're looking for, which one do I want? I want this one. If you're looking for kind of a good refresher, start with that masterclass. I think it'll be good, right? So there's that. I'm sliding this down. So see here, look at how nice that connects to that. This would also make a really great earring. Look at how nice that looks just as an earring dangle. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to give myself about 3 inches here, which is that's actually kind of long. I'll go 2 inches. Okay, that's about 2 inches right there. I'm going to clip away. These are the wire retaining pliers from Xuron. So they have a little retention kind of mechanism here. So see what happens when I cut? See how it hangs onto the wire like this? And the wire here. Oh, maybe it's this way. Yeah, there it is, that side. See how it hangs on? So it doesn't fly in the air. This retaining little thing it's a really nice, it's a great plier. I love it a lot. Okay, so now we're going to come in, we're going to create our other loop on this side. I'm using my bent chain, but you can use your regular chain. But see here how I just slide that down. So it's just at the tip, bend over at a right angle. This little measurement here is going to give me about 3 wire wraps worth from here to here, right? That's about 3. This is going to be 3. Now I'm going to come in, line it up on that line I marked, up and over. Take it off that line, go to the bottom line right there. See, same place. Pull that wire underneath. Now, what I'm going to do, see how my loop, it's over a little more to the right here. So I'm going to insert my tool and roll it. See, now that's centered. Okay. So what do I need to do here? I need to attach my loop, because this loop is closed and this loop will be wire wrapped closed. So I would have to connect these with jump rings if I didn't get this link in there. And I do that all the time, right? So write yourself a little post-it note that says add link, right? I get so excited that my wire wrapping is going well that I just wire wrap the loop closed. There we go. And I do have my links. Choose how you want your links to sit. Either have them facing they'll want to face the same way here. See, because see how this link is down, this link is to the side. So if your loop isn't turned correctly, turn it. Whoops, I turned that. Oh, I hope I don't wire fatigue this. There we go. You want to turn it so that, see there, now the links are facing the same way and the components in between are facing the same way. So let me go ahead and clip away that extra. Again, I cut about 2 inches of wire. I only have a little bit left. So this is the pear wire. It's fairly inexpensive. You could probably go down to 1.5 inches, maybe. I'll do that on my next one. There we go. I haven't wire wrapped in a while, so my skills are a little off. Okay, so here we go. So there's that. So now we'll do this one. So I want to work off my spool. I mean, you don't have to. You could cut a piece of wire, but this has the least amount of waste. So I'm going to go a little bit faster here to get that wrapped. Here we go. Up and over on the bottom jaw, down and underneath. I'm going to switch out my plier, hold that loop flat, and bring that wire around 3 times. See, I've got a little bit of space there. It's kind of hard, right? So I just tightened it up. And I'm going to come in, clip that away. See, what did I do? What did I do? I was so excited about wrapping. All right. That's what you got to do. I told you, I do it all the time. Cut it off. We'll do it again. It happens to all of us. I'm telling you, I get so excited. I'm like, oh, the wrap, it looks, or the loop, it looks so good. Let me get that going. But I have to connect this. If I don't connect it, and you could unwrap it, but then the wire is all tangly and it doesn't look good. I mean, I think it's faster to just redo it. Make sure that fits in there correctly. Now we wire wrap, right? I do that. I'm telling you, I do that all the flipping time. And especially I get into a groove and then I get it right, but I'll tell you. So slide this one. What did I say? About 1.5 inches. So this is about 1.5 inches right there. And this one, you're welcome, Curtis. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this refresher. Sometimes a refresher is what we need, especially on this first day of summer, right? So now I'm going to bend at a right angle, up and over the top, down and underneath. Don't forget to connect. You know it's wrong if you've got an empty loop, right? Sometimes you got to open that loop forward just a little bit in order for that chain to make that connection. And let me hold that closed nice and tight. And we're going to wrap. So sometimes when I have a shorter piece of wire and there's like a big bead there or whatever, that's when I will get my bent chain and I'll have it help me. There we go. Just like that. Okay. There it is. I'm going to flip this around. Clip, trying not to clip my wire wrap nor my chain piece. and tuck it in. So this length so far, I have 1, 2, this is a little over 3 inches, this whole section. Okay, so it goes pretty fast when you use big stuff. Okay. I'm going to figure out, I need to figure out how to attach this piece here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a heavy jump ring. And thanks to Miranda, my jump rings are all organized. Here's one right here. Let me grab some rings here. What size? I think I'm going to go with, oh no, those are soldered. I think I'll go with, maybe I'll go with these oval ones. Let's see how those look. Let me see. Oh, and Margaret is saying, can I explain what the use is for bent chain and the 90 degree? You mean the 90 degree? So the 90 degree bent chain is this one right here. Okay. And this bent chain, it's like a 45 degree. I really like this 90 degree one too. I have this one. I'll use this when I wire wrap the next one. Sometimes I feel like that bend, that 90 degree bend right here. See how tapered those tips are? And it's just straight across. I can get right in there with those tips. We started carrying these, I think, last year. I've had this pair forever. I've had them forever and ever, and I love them. But I thought, you know what? Why not introduce these so you folks could grab onto them too? Karen K is also saying that 90 degrees is great for chainmail. I agree. The 90 degree and that chisel nose plier, I don't know if I have it here, but those work really, really well for the chainmail as well. And I'll use this one. Linda is saying, when I clip the rings off the chain, you don't have to worry about that cut ring coming apart. So what I do here, Linda, this cut ring, so like here, if I'm going to free up this ring, I'll cut this ring that's right here. Okay. I'll come in. This is the maxi share. I'll use that this time. I'll give that a cut. I'll open it. And then this ring is waste. I won't use it. Okay, because the cut, it'll just open it up. If this was unplated, like if it was brass or copper or whatever and didn't have a plating, I would probably save these because I could solder them back closed in some of my metalsmithing applications. But these are plated. The torch will the torch won't play nicely with the plating on here. So these are just kind of a casualty of war for these. Casualty of the constant war on wire wrapping, right? Okay, so let me, I chose these ovals. I like these ovals because the loop is on the side. So let's see how I like the look of this. Okay, so I'm going to grab that oval, grab this oval, open it up. Let me put this one on here. There needs to be enough room for all of this to sit nicely. I don't want this ring to be too big because I don't want it to open, but it also can't be too small or there won't be any movement here. So let's just see how that looks. I don't know. There's movement. Let me see if I can close that up. I don't know. I think it's okay. It's a little, I feel like it's just a tiny bit small. I don't love this connection. I'm going to be really honest. I feel like this next to this, with all of this, I feel like this looks a little clunky. I think this needs a little bit of air in between it. So I'm going to take this off. It's not right. Right? You can see how not right this is. Right? So, and see how with this 90 degree, how it's kind of hard to grab onto it. So I get that little 90 degree in there. I'm able to grab that ring. Now I'm able to grab this one. I'll open it up. I'm going to take this apart. Okay. Maybe I'll just do a chain link. Maybe that's right. I don't know. Let me see. I think that's better, right? There's a little bit of air. This is a little thinner. It harkens back to that. There's not so much heaviness next to heaviness. I think that's better. I could also do another wire wrap. I could wire wrap a small bead, right? Yeah, Alita, that's a great question. These can't be repurposed as cut rings, especially with this oval ring. The way that they're cut, they're just going to pull right apart. Okay, it won't work. So it's a sacrifice to the wire goddesses there. So I come in, I close this up, and there we have it. And I think this is better, right? It also gives it a little bit of air. I think that's good, right? I think that's better. So now let's take a look at the dangle that we're going to do here. So let me grab a head pin. I've got a head pin here. Let me see if this is going to fit. I don't know that it will. Let me see. Nope. So I have a head pin here. This is a 20 gauger, like that. If I had a 24 gauge, that's what I would use. But I don't have any sitting right here. Okay. So what I'm going to use instead is I'm going to use a piece of wire. And I'm going to wire wrap it just a little differently. Okay. Let me get this piece of wire out. And I could get a head pin that would fit, but let's say that you don't have a head pin that will fit it. Okay. Here's a piece of 24 gauge. And I'm going to put this pearl from my pearl stash in it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire wrap this as if it were a briolette. Okay, so I'm going to reorient the pearl so it's like this. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to bring this wire, that wire to the center, and this wire also to the center. So when it's hanging, and I'll zoom in on it so you can see this. Okay. Let me zoom in. Okay, just how we begin a wrap on a briolette. So When I wire wrap a briolette, I come in, I hang on to both of these wires. I take the long wire, that's what I'm going to wire wrap with. Okay? This shorter wire is what I'm going to wire wrap around. So I line this up on my mark, up and over. Actually, I want it to go on that side, down and under, like that. Now I'm going to wire wrap that little net catching both of those wires. The base metal of the chain, I believe, is copper. I'll have to double check. But the plating on this wire is really great. There we go. I just needed to make that round length nice and even. Let me hold on to this. Oops. It's a little out of my focal range. Sorry about that. There we go. So see here, I'm holding on to that loop. I'm holding on to the wire I'm going to be wire wrapping around. And I'm going to bring this all together like this. And I'm going to connect these with jump rings. So I'm not going to worry about putting a ring in there yet. So this way, the pearl's oriented in a little bit of a different way, but I kind of like it. We'll pull this one down, clip it, push those little ends in so you won't have a piece of wire that snags hair or clothing. There's a little tiny piece of wire there. Let me get rid of that. Okay. And then let me see. I just want to tighten this one more. Yeah, there we go. So I just turned it just to get it a little bit tighter. There we go. Can you see that there? So here, there's that. Okay. So I've got this little piece of wire that's going to kind of be a little dangle that's going to go in that hook. So let me also, I'm going to come in, I'm going to wire wrap this one. I'm going to go a little bit faster now. And I can also use, I have all of that extra wire. So again, 24 gauge. We also have this as a skill builder, right? Briolette wrapping, a nice briolette wrap looks so nice on these drops. You need to make sure though, folks, if you are, I'm going to make this loop a little bit smaller. If you are wire wrapping a brio, they can be a little fragile, right? Depending on the hole, depending on the type of stone. So we want to make sure that the wire fits securely in there, but not so tight that it's going to chip the top of the bead. Okay. The bead hole, because once that bead hole is chipped, that's the end of it for that brio. So just make sure that you usually 20, like this has a pretty big hole, so 24 gauge works really nicely with this. Some of the tinier brios that we carry, you would want to use 26 gauge. Okay, so I'm starting to make my little cluster. These are smaller. We had these in Bead Shop Studio as well. I think these might be sold out, but that's 28 gauge. You could use 28 gauge on those. Let me see if I can find 26 in this. Here's 26. I'm using the non-tarnish vintage bronze for this color. So let's see how this 26, right? These are tiny. Yeah, 26. And see how I know that it's okay if it spins on the wire like this, right? Then I know it's fine. So let me just wire wrap a couple of these. I don't want to be too cavalier about it because, you know, that's a delicate point right there at the top. So we want to be careful. I want to move quickly, but not in a slapdash kind of way. There we go. Up and over. I want a small loop for this one because the brio is tiny. Down and under. No matter how large of a table I use, I always need more room. Right, there we go. That is like 4 wraps, but that's okay. See that there? Like that. The chain link sizes, I'll measure. It's the Feel Good chain. So if you go over to that product page, I'm sure it's listed there, but I've got my caliper here, so I can also measure it for you. There we go. Oh, see, I didn't quite get it all. Let me get it. Getting it. There we go. And there's that. I think I just need one more of those, right? Sorry, I'm sorry, especially with wire wrapping. I apologize for getting out of frame. It's hard for me to see, so thanks for letting me know. I'm going to let me just zoom out a little bit. That'll make it easier. Sorry. It's hard sometimes being the talent and the director and the production assistant. But I appreciate the heads up. All right, here we go. Let's open this up. The inside diameter is almost 10 millimeters, okay, across like that, okay. Outside diameter is almost 12, okay. Let me wire wrap this last one. Well, I've got a few more, but I think I'm just going to do 2. Use your wire straightener. Yeah. Alfred's the slacker around here. I think he's sleeping somewhere. He was out. We had a meeting this morning to make sure all of our ducks were in a row before I leave. And so, you know, I had schedules and everything that I passed out. And of course, Alfred marches right on out and looked very affronted that he did not have a handout for the meeting. He was not pleased. But now I think he's taking his morning nap. Though he did bring in a stick for us this morning, like a good kitty. Walked in, dropped it right by the fireplace, and kept going towards the food bowl. So yeah, put it right by Chris's chair so Chris couldn't miss it. That he had a stick gift. I know, little naughty pants. Remember that, Annie? He was so little. He fit on a velvet pad. Now he's 30 pounds. It's ridiculous. That kitty cat. Come in, clip. Let me tuck these in, and then let's arrange this on the chain, shall we? Sometimes you just have to kind of, give it a little fixing just to make sure everything is sitting nicely. I want to get my cutter in there, right in there. There we go. That's that extra off. Okay. I know when we found him at the cement factory down the street from the old bead shop offices, that little baby was so tiny. Here we go. Now he's a monster. 7-year-old monster. Okay. So let's go ahead. I think I want this one at the bottom, right? Because that's the heaviest. So I'm going to come in. I should go back and rewatch those shows. I don't really love to watch my my episodes on lives, but I know that there are some good shows with the baby when he was a baby on there. From 2019, I think, was when 2019? 2018? 2019, I think. I don't know. You can see. There was a lot of Alfie content because he was such a baby. We had to bring him to the office so we could feed him. And then he had to come to the office because he just wanted to be in the office. I'm going to attach this one to the second chain right there using the oval ring. Like that. And then I think I want to distribute. Maybe I'll put one there and one there. Okay. Let me 2017, Emily says. Well, no, because he just turned 7. Well, it's 2025. So maybe it was 2018. He does still have his own Instagram, and I've been remiss. I need to post some stick pictures of all of Alfie's sticks that he brings. But yes, it's Alfred T. Pickles. There's Alfred's Insta. There's some good pictures up there. He needs his own social media manager, I think. Em, how's it going? You're getting ready for your big market this weekend? Hopefully it won't be too hot. The weather's kind of cooled down a little bit here, which is kind of a miracle. We sure had a fun time with Emily on Wednesday, didn't we? With that rickrack. I know some of you have already posted in the bead shop, the bead table group. Yeah, I think it was May because we got him in May. So I think it was May 2018. So if you go back to those lives, you'll see that kitty cat. That little baby. Okay, so there we have it. I want this to go on that side of it. There we are, right? And so I'm just going to attach this and let it dangle. From that piece right there. Okay. Then on this side, when I wire wrap, so see how that dangles like that? This side, let me zoom out. Let me see if I can. There we go. So I'm going to come in, and the way that I will finish this one, that will connect there. This will connect to that. And then I'll keep going. Okay. And I'll put the links in between. Right? I think it looks good. All right. Let me connect these two together. Oh, Janice is here. Hi, JP. Thanks for coming in and joining us. Love it. Let me connect. So let me see. If this is like this is like this. I think I need 2 links here so that it sits correctly in the clasp. Let's take a look. Okay, so if this connects here, yeah, see that? That needs to be in the right orientation. Emily, everyone is so excited for your Christmas in July. Not pre-orders, but orders for the product are going to go up this weekend. I think it's going to go up on Sunday. Sunday? Is that what we said, Janice, or did we say tomorrow? It might be tomorrow. I don't know. Check your newsletter. You don't want to miss out. I think it's actually tomorrow, isn't it? Check the newsletter. We've got so many nice colors for you to choose from, nice beads, all kinds of stuff. Sunday. All right, Sunday. Yes, that's when we're doing it. Okay, phew. So keep it, mark that on your calendars because you don't want to miss it. There's that. Okay. And then these are going to come up from it. This is going to look so nice in the center as a centerpiece, right? Really, really pretty, I think. And then you could also make, I don't know how many beads. Let's see. I think you might only need 1 strand of beads for these. You can always elongate it with a little more chain, but I think these beads will be plenty. 2, 4, 6, 8, 15, unless I've lost one. Okay, there they are. I think it looks good. I like this a lot. This is a good screenshot time. So just as a reminder, let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen with you folks here real quick. Let me make sure. Hang on, let me go here. Let me go here. There we go. Share. All right, so right here on the home page, just as a reminder, my friends, we've got, these are all the sales that are going on this week. Bead Shop Studio is on sale. I put everything on sale until Sunday night because we want to clear out those shelves. I know I never mark down Bead Shop Studio, so this is a rarity. So you can click through and you can see even the Frida kits. I've got a few left. I'm like, yep, I'm just putting them on. So you can see everything is marked down 20%, right? And you can see there, we still have some of these loose beads left. We still have some of the Veracite, some different things here. So you may want to peruse and take a look. Let me go. And then the antique glass, the vintage glass is down further. Item of the week, our bezels and bracelets are 10% off. We've got our summer coupon code. It doesn't apply to Bead Shop Studio, but the Bead Shop Studio is already marked down. And then, of course, we've got our back in stock. And if you were checking out the newsletter this morning, I extended the back in stock or the back in sale. So everything that we've gotten back in, like in the last week or so, we've marked 10% off. So you can see if you've been waiting for some of those things, not only do we have them back in, but we did a little discount for you folks. So you can see those things are back in, and those are under our back in sale. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a perusal there. Don't forget to pick up your June mix, which is here. And I also made a new category for you folks because I love mixes. We love mixes, right? Yeah, Janice, surprise, JP. I thought of that last night at like maybe 7:30 or something. So, and it's on sale through the weekend. You can also find all of our bead mixes in one place. I thought that having the bead mixes all together, so not only can you see like, like the seed bead mixes and stuff, but you can also see everything that's kind of falls under the category of mix. So if we go over here and we click on Shop All Bead Mixes, can you see here? The monthly mixes are there. See those mixed stone rondelles? That's a mix. It's there. The mixes, we have a few left. I went and I was clearing out. I was kind of rearranging. And we still have a few of the bead embroidery mixes. And I think we have like 2 of these sequin mixes left. We found a few more of the February monthly mix that we put. And then here's all the Delica mixes, seed bead mixes. So they're all there. Okay. All there. So, it's kind of fun for you to see every mix that we have, all in one place. And you can see here, I added it, all bead mixes. If you're looking for like the monthly mix archive and everything like that, if you scroll down and you go to mix archive, you can see they're all here, right? Mini mix recipes, the monthly mix recipes, all of the monthly mixes that we've sold since 2017, they're all here with the recipes. Okay, so you can see them and recreate them if you are so inclined. Okay, but it's all here. I also wanted to point out we pulled the metalsmithing tools into their own category. So you can see they're under regular tools. There's the metalsmithing tools, everything we use for metalsmithing. And those things that you see that are sold out, those things are going to be returning. So we'll always be having this things for your metalsmithing, and we'll be adding some more stuff there too. So hopefully that is helpful for you. Just a little tour. So on Sunday, we're going to be launching Emily's Christmas in July project. There are going to be 4 colors of seed beads that you can choose from. There's going to be a bunch of strands that you can use as little ornaments. We've got bead caps. We've got head pins in bulk. They're going to be really, really fun for you to play around with. So check the newsletter. We do have a limited amount of all of this stuff. The good news is that it's early, right? We're not doing Emily's project. I think it's in a month or a little more than a month. So we'll get these shipped out so you can follow along with Emily. If we do run out, some things, I don't know if they're going to be still available from our vendors, but we'll be restocking as we can. Okay, so the bags of seed beads are going to come in 150 gram bags, so you'll have plenty to work with. Okay. Don't forget, my friends, that you can find us all over social. Our Facebook group is so fantastic, so helpful, so much inspiration and information over there on Facebook at The Bead Table. Hit us up over on Instagram so we can share your projects or things that you make with products from beadshop.com. Our Pinterest pages have a lot of inspiration over there at beadshop.com. You can tag us anywhere, of course, at beadshop.com. And if you have any questions, hit us up over at info@beadshop. Miranda's going to be on the other side, of course, of the computer answering your questions, and Janice is going to be pitching in. So don't worry, even though I'm gone, if there's something super important, I'm going to be checking with Miranda periodically. So don't worry, I'm not disappearing off the face of the earth. That's it. So next week, we've got a pre-record with Danielle Wicks and a beautiful new earring project. You can go over to Facebook or to YouTube. It's already scheduled over there. Set yourself a reminder. I'm pre-recording a couple of lives for when I'm gone. So check them out over there, bookmark them. I've got a special mix, my tribute to La Cascade, the art house that we stay in France. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned to your newsletters. I will be back I'll be back with you on whatever that day is. July 7th, I'll be back in office, and I'll be back with you live on Wednesday, July 9th. So that's it for me, everybody. Have a fantastic couple of creative weeks. I'll be checking in with you periodically. Again, follow my Instagram at BeadKate for pictures and posts and all kinds of cool stuff from my, I'm looking to put it up here, but I can't see it. All of my posts from France, you'll be able to see it. Here they are. Here it is. I'll be posting on my Insta. So that's it. Love you. Miss you already. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye-bye.